even before I start saying who I am, I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And I'm grateful for how persistent you have been, trying to get me on Mtandao University. And for me, I think, it was not because I did not want to be, it was just because of conflict of scheduling. But here we are now. So as Kevin has said, I am Sandra Owiti, and I am currently working as the Learning and Curriculum Manager for the Young African Leaders Initiative project, which is being implemented by Deloitte here in Eastern South Africa. I'm a lady who's passionate about young people. I want to help them in as much as I can to figure out what their purpose and their passion and their potential is. And I live for seeing young people get their light bulb moment about what it is that they want to achieve.
Oh, Sandra, that's a very good, quick start. In fact, well, a good start actually. And I'll pick up what you just said. Yeah. Being persistent.
Yes.
Well, the COVID-19 have changed the game. Right now they are saying that young people will struggle to get meaningful employment. That's number one. Number two, young people will be struggling, especially with mental health illness. But I said that to you, Sandra, how should they get opportunities? I mean, where are the avenues for young people to get meaningful opportunities?
Kevin, the opportunities are everywhere. The thing is, we all just need to be very aware, and we need to be mindful of looking out for these opportunities. All right. And when I say the opportunities are everywhere, someone needs something somewhere. All right. So take, for example, even with this situation with COVID, one of the opportunities that has reared its head even more is, take, for example, home delivery services, And so I think opportunity for me, Kevin, always meets preparedness. So if you're prepared, then you're able to see this opportunity. So it's about being proactive. It's about looking what are the needs that are available, that people around you have, and you being able to meet those needs. It's the same thing with Zoom. Zoom was created to meet a need. Yeah, people needed to be able to have meetings, and yes, Zoom was even available before COVID. But the reason Zoom is working is because it's helping us be able to work remotely. You are where you are, I am where I am, and we're able to have this conversation. So what are the needs that are there in your community? What are the needs that are there amongst the people around you? And then figure out a way of being able to monetize that need. I think that it's agility and proactiveness that you need to be able to survive in these times.
Sandra, you've heard of people that have finished their first degrees, have got their masters. Some people have got PhDs, but there are no jobs. These guys are sitting at home looking for those opportunities. So where do people prepare? And when we talk about, it's about preparedness. How and where do they start?
The job employment situation that we have currently in Africa and generally in the world is sad. There are more people than we have jobs, and so this really is just calling us to be very entrepreneurial. We are not all of us are made for being entrepreneurs and business owners, but sometimes the situation calls us to be. If there are no jobs, really the truth is it's upon us as young people to start figuring out how to create those jobs. And it still takes us back, Kevin, to the thing of what are the opportunities or what are the needs that are there in the community, because that's where innovation is, right? So take, for example, I have my master's degree, and in many cases it's easier said than done because there are no the opportunities are not as many, right? But number one, am I ensuring that I am in all the take for example, job availability apps, all right? Have I created a profile on Glassdoor? Have I created a profile on LinkedIn? Have I created a profile on all these places where then I could be able to find an opportunity, all right? Going back again, Kevin, you know, and you know me, I always say this, opportunity meets preparedness. So if I'm looking for a job, what have I done for myself to make myself marketable, all right? How does my LinkedIn profile look like, right? How am I presenting myself on the various social media pages, all right? Because people are looking, okay? So am I being prepared in that way? But also, am I developing myself as an individual in this time to make myself marketable, all right? So it's more, in fact, conversations with me is more me asking questions in terms of what are you doing in this case, you know? And those are some of the things that we need to be able to talk about. So are young people taking advantage of the situation that we're in and gaining more skills, all right, or more papers, you know? And it's not pressure, but it's, if I'm at home right now and there are apps and of course this is not sponsored, but there, if you'll allow me to mention some apps, there are apps like Coursera, there are apps like Skillshare, you know, there are apps, even LinkedIn, you know, or even the British Council. All these guys are offering free courses. Are you taking advantage of those things, right? Are you as an individual saying, I am going to improve myself where my skills are concerned in this time to make myself more marketable? Yeah, that's
carry on.
Yeah, so that's part of my challenge for young people right now. How are you developing yourself? Because you can't say, okay, yeah, now COVID is happening. Let's also take advantage of this situation to make ourselves better.
You know what? You said something interesting. You mentioned some of the various apps, well, social media predominantly. Yeah, but people, do you think young people don't take social media seriously?
I think young people take social media seriously, but they don't take it seriously all the time for the right reasons. Okay? So this is what I mean. In terms of showing where it is that you are and that you're having fun and all these things, young people do take social media seriously where that is concerned. But social media is also the place where you can meet your future employer, all right? So let people know you for more than selfies, all right? Let people know you for more than selfies. You have to be more than just, selfies, all right? What else are you good for? What else are you known for? What skills do you have? What do you want the world to know you for? Okay? Use that platform called social media to be able to also articulate that to the world. So yes, they take it seriously, but not always for like skills development or soft skills development, or portraying yourself to the world also where your career is concerned. Because we have to be holistic. We have to have fun. We have to have a good time. We need to use social media for what it is, which is socializing. But we also socialize not only where entertainment is concerned, but also where our work is concerned as well.
Well, you mentioned soft skills, and that's what this platform is all about. And again, for those that have just joined us, I'm speaking to Sandra Owiti, and the main discussion today is about how young people can stand up, how young people can prepare themselves for opportunities. Sandra, COVID-19 has changed the game. Everyone's now, people watching us now on their sofas, and someone like, okay, we're talking about socializing or using social media, but how do I meet people? If we are trying to be safe, we're being told to go at home, to stay at home. How do they meet people?
Kevin, how are we having this meeting? It's exactly the same thing, Kevin. The God honest truth is, Kevin, you would have said, I'm all the way in the UK and Sandra is all the way in Kenya. It cannot happen. All right? But that's not what you did, or that's not what you said. Yeah, you said, I'm going to use whatever tools that are available to me to ensure that this happens. And I've seen some of your other speakers on this same platform, right? And you've been able to get amazing speakers to come and speak to this demographic we call the youth, right? So Kevin, we have to be proactive, Bana. We can't be the people who are seeing a challenge in everything. We have to figure out what is the solution, all right? So you have 2,000 followers on Instagram, or you have, I don't know, you've reached the limit of friends on Facebook. You have 5K friends on Facebook. How are you using that to benefit yourself? How are you taking advantage of those networks? All right. So Kevin, proactivity is not an option in this time. Proactivity is not an option. If you are, take for example, an entrepreneur, right? What people listen to, what interests them. Okay. So are you positioning whatever it is that you're selling, or your services or your goods, in a way that will interest other people? All right. So yeah, proactivity is not an option. You look at the situation that you're in, and you figure out, okay, how am I going to be able to move forward where this is concerned? All right. So I've given the example of an entrepreneur. Make sure that you are consistently interacting with your potential customers online, right? Because right now, yes, there's social distancing and we have to be very careful and stay safe. But what are the avenues that are available to you, and how can you take advantage of them? I mean, WhatsApp has so many other features that you can use as an entrepreneur. You know, Telegram, the same thing. Facebook, the same thing. Instagram, the same thing. So it's about us just going out there and ensuring that we are taking advantage of the opportunities that are available.
Wow, Sandra, goodness me, you. See, listen to you now. It takes me back to 2005. No, seriously. Look, when I was very young, I think I was amongst the young students in college, and
yeah, some
of the things you're saying now, I can just go back and say, I wish someone told me this long time ago. I could be very, you know, especially with persistency, using what you have. Right. Let's take internet, for example, and the issue of bullying, and also, you know, people are using, people are kind of hiding behind keyboard. Yes, okay. People feel discouraged. You know, for example, if you approach somebody, they don't reply, or you get bashed. How should they handle those things?
I'll use a statement that I had once during a sales pitch, and then hopefully I'll be able to bring it home. And in this case, I'm talking about, take for example, if someone, number one, if someone bullies you, you guys stand up for yourself. All right, you need to stand up for yourself. But different people, again, let me use a disclaimer. Different people have different coping mechanisms. So I guess the most important thing first is to say, figure out what your coping mechanism is, because maybe your coping mechanism and mine is different. So maybe for someone, their coping mechanism is delete, comment, move on. All right. Maybe your coping mechanism is, okay, you want a piece of me? I'm gonna give you a piece of me, right? There are other people whose coping mechanism probably is a mix of both. So as an individual, you need to figure out, okay, with my personality, what works best for me, all right? Then number two, I think, is also growing a thick skin. Yeah, growing a thick skin, because there are people, unfortunately, who will take advantage of the fact that you don't know who I am. Right? And so I will take this opportunity to harass you. Excuse me. So I'll take this opportunity to harass you and give you a hard time, right? So it's you as an individual, you have to be able to grow a thick skin and also understand, always keep at the front of your mind why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? So this will lead me now to the point, the sales quote that I had. If you're a business person and you are selling your wares on social media, and take for example, someone either says something hurtful about your product, or someone rejects, they do not want to buy your product, okay? What I heard one person say, and he's a very good friend of mine, he's called Sijeni, said is, people, you as an individual need to realize that people are not rejecting you, they're rejecting the product, okay? It's a product that they do not want. So in that case, then you need to figure out, what is it about this product that I need to fix? Or is it not, is it a product that's not needed, right? So it's this thing about cyberbullying. So there's cyberbullying, which really is a very sensitive topic, and you as an individual, you need to be able to figure out what your coping mechanisms is. And I really would like to encourage people not to cyberbully. There's no, like, what are you gaining from it, you know? But as an individual, you need to figure out your coping mechanism. But also, if, take for example, you are either a business person or you're trying to get into the influencer space, you need to constantly remember your why. Why are you doing this? And that is what's going to motivate you, even when those hurdles or those hard times hit. Because it is, I mean, they're gonna come. And there's in fact, I was talking to my cousin yesterday, and we're talking about, you know, people won't always like you. You won't always be someone's cup of tea. And, you know, we went ahead and said, there are actually some people who do not like vanilla ice cream. And we're like, how do you not like vanilla ice cream? But that just goes to show that people are different, okay? So you as an individual, like you as a young person, you need to be able to figure out, okay, this is who I am, this is how I cope in these certain situations. People, if I'm selling a product or a service, people are not rejecting me, people are rejecting the product or service. So let me figure out how to better this product or service, and just figure out how to grow a thick skin. Sometimes you just need to ignore. You don't need to take everything at heart. If it's not, you know, that's the beauty of social media. Just keep scrolling up. Keep scrolling up.
Sandra, I've got to ask you this, and you can pass if you don't want to.
Yeah.
To answer. There has been something in Nairobi, the art cafe.
Yes.
You know, where they asked artists, you know, to come and expose their work, and it brought a lot of opinions. And
yes.
Saying that that's actually what job market does. It uses job market uses young people. How do we get experience without feeling like we are being taken advantage of?
So, very interesting question. Number one, my stand, because I love artists. My stand is, you do not pay artists using exposure. This is hard work, you know. Songs, paintings, all this, they take time, they take money to be able to create, and so we need to start appreciating our artists a whole lot more, you know. And it's and for me, I think I like what this art cafe thing has done, because then, I mean, we're having the conversation of, guys, you need to be able to appreciate the artists around us as much as possible, you know. Even as individuals, we can't be the ones who, take for example, this singer has Chomoda CD has
yes
has come to the CD. I'm speaking Kenyan slang, and then you're the one who's saying, oh, you know, please give me that CD for free. You can't be that friend. Yeah, you simply cannot be that friend. We have to be able to support one another. However, unfortunately, the situation is that many organizations do take advantage of young people and their inexperience, you know, because, I mean, one of the things that any job requires is, you know, do you have 2 or 3 years experience? And so you as an individual or as a young person coming straight out of college, where are you going to get that experience from? So, but for me, I always say that it's a very tight rope to walk, all right? Because there are situations where You might have to just say, okay, what I'm going to do, and I always say, take advantage of the time that you have, particularly when you're in campus, to volunteer as much as possible, because at that time you probably are still on someone else's bill, all right? And then you have time during the holidays, okay? So you can take advantage of that time to gain whatever experience that you can, to be able to put on your CV. That is critical for you as a young person to do. So take advantage of the time, mainly when you're in campus as well. But for business owners, I think my challenge is, these young people are coming to you and they're going to offer you value, all right? And I'm going to say offer you value and put an asterisk, because I need to come back to young people on that asterisk. So these are young people who are coming to offer you value, right? Give them, compensate them for the value that they're bringing to your organization. That's my challenge for business owners, whether small, medium, or large enterprises. Give them value. At least ensure that these people can be able to get to the office, ensure that they have a meal and they can be able to have a roof over their head. That is critical. But young people, listen to me. You also have to be giving value. Okay? So you can't, time is a very important factor. All right. So as you keep growing and as you keep going through your process, ensure that you're learning valuable skills that you can then be able to offer, such that even when you're sitting at the negotiating table, you have something you're bringing on the table. You cannot come fresh from campus with no experience whatsoever, with no, even during your campus life, you didn't even take advantage of the different clubs that are there. You have absolutely nothing other than the book knowledge that you have. And then you come and start saying, Sandra, what I want to be paid is 200 Gs. I look at you and ask you, what value are you bringing? What value are you bringing to the table to earn you that 200,000? Because you don't just mention a number off the air. Right? I have to be able, as a business owner or as a recruiter or someone who works in HR, to be able to say, this money is going to be able to give me this value, because we're not doing charity. I'm not paying you for nothing. So as a young person, you need to be able to figure out what value are you bringing, all right? Be able to articulate the value that you're bringing, and then you can be able to sit on the negotiating table with something that you're offering.
Wow, Sandra, I can listen to you the whole evening. I'm very conscious of time. Somebody, a friend that you
what do we have, by the way?
Well, maybe 2 more minutes.
Oh, really?
But a friend just sent me a text. Actually, we both know this person.
Okay.
He's asking me, ask Sandra 2 questions. Number 1, is that a TV?
Actually, you former data people, focus.
And also he's saying, when will Sandra publish a book? She is an amazing lady. Please say hi to her. Don't say my name.
Oh,
publishing a book.
It's a bit unfair. I'd really like to know who that is.
Probably not. When are you publishing a book?
That's Kevin, to be honest, I've never thought about it. However, I know there's a friend of mine who's listening in, who immediately after this is going to put pressure on me for that. I haven't thought about publishing a book. I'm more a speaker than I am a writer. Does that make sense? I enjoy this more than writing. My writing is basically mainly for me. So I haven't thought about writing a book. But probably I could consider it. Is this a TV? Yes, this is a TV. It's an old Sony TV that is probably older than me, because it was my mom's television.
Well, I tell you what, I will not say anything. Well, last question for me, Sandra.
Yes.
Actually, just to recap what we have been talking about, it's just 2 minutes ago, but we've been here for at least 30 minutes. And the message I'm getting from you is being persistent, and also know your value.
Yes.
You have said something which is about this platform, University, is social skills. You know,
Yeah.
these are habits or the ethics, if you call it that way, that you develop within time. And they just come like that. So, for example, you use a very good example about when you're in college, do something.
Yeah.
Join a club, you know, be part of a community service. That's
Yeah.
what you learn. Last question from me, Sandra. Where is mentorship coming in all this? Because people talk about mentorship, but they don't provide opportunities. You know, somebody said I'm mentoring young people, but you know, you're mentoring on what? I'm not gaining anything. Where is mentorship in this one?
Kevin, mentorship is critical. It's critical, and the reason I think why I have become a little melancholic is because I myself have been challenged to start a mentorship program, which I am starting. But the mentorship, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't say that you're starting a mentorship program or that you're a mentor just for the sake of saying it. All right. A mentorship is critical because you're giving a young person an opportunity to stand on your shoulders. You know, it's literally that thing for giving someone an opportunity to stand on the shoulders of giants. That's why mentorship is critical, because through mentorship, I won't need to necessarily make the same mistakes that someone has made. You know, mentorship is literally someone doing life with you, you know, and mentorship comes in different formats. You know, I could be your life mentor, I could be your career mentor, I could be your, I don't know, you know, it could be a holistic sort of mentorship, but mentorship is critical. And I would say to young people, please ensure that you get a mentor, you know, someone who's older than you, someone who has more experience than you do, so that you can be able to learn from them and be able to gain either more skills or be able to change your perspectives and your attitudes. Mentorship is critical. Like I cannot emphasize enough how important mentorship is. But also the people who are offering mentorship, please let's also be the ones who are giving practical advice and not theory, and getting to the point where we understand what are our mentees' needs, right? And then figuring out how do we then meet the needs for these mentors. Because if, take for example, I'm mentoring you, Kevin, for example, I can already see that you're a fantastic public speaker. You are good at interviewing. So how can I get you from the point that you are already to a higher point? So it's important that we build each other, and mentorship is the building of a community and helping people to stand on the shoulders of greatness, and it's critical. It is critical.
Wow, Sandra, listen, I cannot thank you enough for your time. For those that are listening to us, this is Mtandao Varsity School of Soft Skills. And the idea of this is to try and show young people that it's not just about papers, but it's about our habits, to add value to society.
Yeah.
I've mentioned that, you've got to be persistent, we've got to use the internet meaningfully, don't take just selfies on social media, use it to build yourself. Sandra Owiti, thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you again.
You're very welcome. One more thing, Kevin. Just because we are speaking mainly about soft skills, I need young people to understand that when you are looking for a job, when you are looking to better yourself, if you're looking to get promoted, 80% of the time, people will judge you by your attitude. 20% of the time, they will judge you by your skills. So even as young people, let us be very careful about our perspective on life and our attitude and how it is that we carry ourselves, because that carries the higher percentage of whether someone will give you a job or whether someone will not give you a job. All right? Attitude is very important.
Honestly, listen, I won't let you go without explaining this. So when you talk about this is important. So
yeah,
if you look at
and please don't feel pressure. I have time. My next meeting is at 4:30, so don't feel pressure on my account.
Oh, marvelous. Well, Sandra, if you look at this organizations, you know,
Yeah.
look at people running them. They are very, very simple people. And like, wow, how do you get there? But it's about actually attitude. They're very, very confident people, you know.
Yeah.
They don't mince their words. So what do you mean by attitude yourself?
What do I mean by attitude?
Yes.
For me, attitude is your perspective in life. All right. Are you how do you perceive your job? How do you perceive your environment? Right? How do you speak about your environment? What do you say about yourself? Right? How do you carry yourself? You know, so attitude is a number of things, but it's basically your outlook on life. All right. Think about attitude like a pair of shades. All right. If today I'm wearing a pair of shades that has the pink hue, right, and I walk out, everything I see will have a pink hue, right, because of the shades that I'm wearing, right? That's exactly attitude. Attitude is the way that you look at things. So if your attitude is negative, then everything that you see around you is going to be negative. If your attitude is, I have a can-do attitude, I can do it, I will take advantage of whatever opportunities are in my are in my space or around me. If your attitude is one for being a problem solver and solution oriented, then that's the attitude that you bring. And nowadays, even in interviews, in as much as they're looking for technical expertise, a lot of the questions that they ask, Kevin, and you can bear me witness, is to try and figure out what is your attitude towards certain things in life. So we need to be so self-aware, yeah, as individuals. It's very important to be self-aware, to the point where you say, okay, these are the things that I need to change about myself. These are what I hear people saying nowadays. These are my toxic traits, all right? So that we are constantly developing ourselves. It is very important to check our attitude. It's critical. It's critical. If your attitude towards me, let me use this example. If your attitude towards me, the first time that I said I'm not available was, you know, people just pretend like they're so busy and to do what, you would not have persisted, all right? But your attitude was, this is the time that, this time it's not working. It will work another time, right? And then you went ahead and looked for other people and you did such a fantastic job with it. So that's what I'm saying. What's your outlook towards life? Always think about shades. What are the shades that I'm wearing that is then determining the color that I am seeing in the world?
Sandra, after this, I'll let you go, seriously. Let me go back to mentorship. You know, so mentorship and attitude. You know, so the person who is mentoring you, must you go to somebody in the line of your field, or will you go to anyone?
It depends on what you want. It depends on what you want. Different people are attracted to different people for different reasons. All right. So take, for example, myself. Many people, actually the majority of the people who I mentor is because they have either interacted with me on a platform like this, or I have trained them in one of the trainings that I carry out. And for them, they're like, okay, I really want you to mentor me either in public speaking, or I just want you to do life with me, or I'm facing a challenge where changing my career is concerned. Can you walk with me through this? So I think mentorship in the part of the mentee is very reason driven. Yeah, why do you want a mentor? And then your answer to that is what's going to determine who it is that you're going to approach. But then also be sure that at least you and the person who it is that you are going to approach to ask to be a mentor can be able to have some sort of rapport. Because again, you don't want a stiff sort of mentorship relationship. But it's very deep. Mentorship is very determined on you as the mentee. What do you want? And then that will determine who it is that you're going to speak to.
Sandra, somebody's asking, sometimes when young girls go for mentorship, men take advantage of them. So
I didn't hear the last part of your question.
So this person saying, sometimes when young girls go for mentorship, to men, take advantage of the girls. What is the point?
Yeah. Oh, what's the point of mentorship then? The man taking advantage of the girl is not mentorship. Like, let's be clear. That's not mentorship, right? Mentorship is the process of helping someone grow either in their career or in life, right? Or in certain areas. When a man takes advantage of a girl, or even, let's not make it seem like women don't take advantage of men either, right? But that is not mentorship. The point of mentorship is for the person who wants to be mentored to develop themselves, all right, either in their career or in life, okay? And also for the person who's mentoring, because we learn from everybody. I tell you, Kevin, I learn from the people who I mentor every single day as well. So it's a learning relationship. That one for either sex taking advantage of the other sex, that's not mentorship at all.
So do I walk away? So because most people, when they go for mentorship, if I talk so and so, he or she will be able, to help me achieve what I want in life. So, I will go to a particular politician or a particular senior person in a corporate world, and because I know that they can introduce to somebody, then I'll go for mentorship. Then they start taking advantage. Do I walk away?
Listen. Number one, you need to figure out what your values are. All right. You need to figure out what your values are. All right. And then number two, if someone is asking you to pay a price that you're not willing to pay, walk away. Walk away. It's easier said than done, I know, right? But if you cannot afford the price that you're being asked to pay, you're the one who's going to suffer. Okay? It's like me buying a car that I cannot afford to service. I'm the one who's going to suffer.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So if someone is asking you to pay a price that you're not willing to pay, or you cannot afford to pay, walk away. There are very many other people who have no ill intention, who would be willing to help you. All right? There are so many other people. And I think this notion that, take for example, if I'm a Chile, I can only be helped by a guy, that's not true. Or if I'm a guy, I can only be helped by a lady, that's not true. We can all help each other, all right? But I think my thing where that is concerned is if you're being asked to pay a price that you cannot afford, that you're not willing to pay, walk away. Walk away.
Wow. Oh, Sandra Owiti, I can't stay here forever. But listen, I think this will be very important. But even for me, actually, there's some things that you mentioned that I take for granted myself. You assume that because you're in a particular space in life, you're okay. But I like what you said. That first of all, you should always seek help. There are lots of people that really want to help. Number two, you talk about persistence. I'm very glad that I kept that trying to approach it. And what's important also, you talked about adding value and attitude.
You're
a holistic person when you're looking for. Sandra, I cannot thank you enough for your time. I am genuinely glad that you presented yourself and you gave me this opportunity. So thank you very, very much, and we shall keep in touch.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the opportunity as well.
Thanks, Sandra. Bye for now.
All right, bye.